That was hard. That was hard. That was hard to swallow. Um, I mean, I don't even. Wow. I'm trying so hard to. Okay, let's do this, Sam. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dallas Sports. I am your host, Sammy HT, and today we grieve the loss of the Hurricanes. We also talk about the Miami Dolphins finding their new head coach, the Miami Heat, up and down last couple of games. I'll be blunt. It's going to be very difficult talking about the Dolphins and Heat after what happened last night. It's hard right now to speak. Ah man, man, man. Oh my goodness. All right, all right. Final score: 27-21 Indiana. Miami Hurricanes fall short of a national championship. They had an opportunity to win the game last night. They did. And unfortunately, Carson Beck threw that interception. He made a decision he just did not have to make. And that has been the story of his career, really. But it looked like he was taking care of the ball at a great level all playoff long. He was taking care of it in this game. And he tried to be a hero one too many times. One too many times in this game. This is a hard loss to swallow, but I can't help but feel proud of the way things went this season. I can't help but feel proud because the truth is there's a lot of people who thought we didn't belong in the playoff. Very few people thought that we'd be a dangerous team in the playoff. There's a lot of people that picked us against Texas A&M. The entire country picked Ohio State against us. The entire country even doubted us against Ole Miss. And then we played Indiana, and the entire country doubted us again. And Indiana, I just want to say, they're a tough team, bro. Fernando Mendoza in this game didn't make a single mistake that I felt cost them the game. And even though in this game the stat sheet doesn't show anything incredible, I'd go as far as to say he played his worst game of the college football playoff against this defense, which is very fitting considering this is the best defense in the country. He was 16 of 27, only 59% completion percentage, 186 yards. No one's going to remember the stat line of this game because of that touchdown he had. And that touchdown, let me tell you, was incredible. The Indiana Hoosiers only scored 2 touchdowns in this game. 2 offensive touchdowns in this game. The other one was a blocked punt. And I'll get to the blocked punt in a second. But this Miami Hurricanes defense was exactly what I thought it was going to do. Did exactly what I thought they were going to do. They did. They did exactly what I thought they were going to do. Now, I will say, Indiana's line of scrimmage outplayed us in the run game. They stopped the run. Until they didn't, that one Mark Fletcher run that got us back into the game. Shout out to Mark Fletcher, man. He had 112 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6.5 yards per carry. just an electrifying performance, and he's a Cane forever. I'm so glad he's coming back next year. But Indiana controlled the line of scrimmage, which is something. They control the time of possession. They controlled the game. Let's call it what it is. They controlled this game. They did exactly what we've been doing to other teams, and they won the turnover battle. They won the penalty battle. They had more first downs. They converted more third downs. They were just better. They were the better team, and I'm content saying that because there's no other team I would have rather lost to. I think Indiana was a damn good team, man. Speaking about this game, there were multiple times where I felt like we had a real strong chance of taking the lead. But unfortunately, the offense to start the game was just so stagnant. It just wasn't moving. We just weren't able to run the ball like we're used to. So we weren't able to run the ball as much. They were boxing Malachi Tony. They were boxing C.J. Daniels. They were boxing everybody. The line of scrimmage was not getting any push. Shout out to Indiana's defensive line. They came to play. Let me tell you, they came to play. I mean, it's hilarious that we won the total yard game. Like, we had 342 total yards. Indiana had 317. We had more passing yards. They had more rushing yards by 20. I mean, it was rough. It was rough. Let's call it what it is. It was a rough game. It was a tight game. Carson Beck. I know a lot of people are going to be very upset with what Carson Beck did that last play. Try to play hero ball again. Underthrew a pass that could have been a touchdown. That interception is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. It will haunt me for the rest of my life, I'm positive. But regardless of that, he played a solid game. He was not turning the ball over, and he brought us back into this game. He did. Him, Mark Fletcher, Malachi Tony. God, Malachi Tony, man. Those guys brought us back into this game, and the defense held strong for so long until, the Heisman played like the Heisman, and the receivers. Look, let me say something about the receivers. There were a lot of people talking about Elijah Surratt, right? Omar Cooper Jr. And Omar Cooper Jr. had his plays for sure, but it was really Charlie Becker. He is going to be talked about for years up there in Indiana with his performance. The timely catches, man. Elijah Surratt is their best receiver, in my opinion. And yet, Charlie Becker made the biggest plays of the game. He did. He deserves all the credit, man. He deserves all the credit. I mean, is there anything else really that needs to be said? Like, is there really, like, this game just, it makes you humbled, and I can't help but think to myself, like, the fact that we fought this hard to even make it, couldn't be proud of this team. I really couldn't be proud of this team. Couldn't be prouder. The block punt. You know, special teams all year long has been a very interesting concept, especially the kicking game. The kicking game was always a interesting concept. Carter Davis never had my trust, even after the Notre Dame game. And after that Texas A&M game, where he missed 3 field goals, it was hard to trust him. And Mario, I feel, made the wrong call trusting him here on 4th and 2. a chance to bring it to a one-score game. He couldn't. And those 3 points, then the blocked field goal, that's a 10-point swing. And that ended up being the game, man. That ended up being the game. And the fact that those mistakes happened against a team that really you can't make any mistakes against. Like, this was a team that we spoke about it all year long, all week long. You can't make mistakes against this team. You just can't. You just can't. Man. That is forever going to be a hard pill for me to swallow. It will. Special teams cost us that game last night, and I know a lot of people are going to be hard on Ethan O'Connor for what happened against Charlie Becker, but I don't think that's a difficult look. That's just a difficult. This is a good receiving core, man. This is a good receiving core. I have no notes in front of me because I just want to go through the motions of like what I'm feeling. I don't want to act too much like as a fan here, but what I'm grateful for is that this season happened, because for a long time it felt like the U was just never going to get back to the glory days. And I'm glad the glory days are back here. Unfortunately, it just didn't end in a championship. But this hurts that I'm feeling. This hurt that the team is feeling right now. We're going to use it, and hopefully next year the Canes will be back. It was a rough loss. It was a difficult loss. But if there's any team that I would prefer to lose to, it's Indiana. Because Indiana was stomping teams out, beating teams up. They were the best team in the country for a reason, and we took it to them. And it was a very close game, and we had an opportunity to go down the field and win. We just came up short. That's going to live with me forever, but, that's just football, man. The beauty of it, the beauty of losing, the beauty of winning, it's part of it, man. So I decided, instead of just going through, instead of just just moving on from the national championship game, I thought it'd be a great idea to rank the top 5 Canes this year. The top 5 Canes this year. And it's difficult doing this because there's so many players here that deserve the flowers. But I'm going to go ahead and try it anyway. I'm going to start with number 5, Carson Beck. Carson Beck, say what you want about him. He had a very interesting season prior to the playoff, and it felt like people didn't have a lot of trust in Carson Beck, and rightfully so. But then, as the playoffs went on, you realize Carson Beck was just playing the exact role he was destined to play in this team, and it's rely on the weapons. Rely on the run game. Rely on the defense. And then when it was time for him to make the plays, he made the plays. Now, obviously, this didn't happen in the national championship game because he tried to make a play to C.J. Daniels. Or I believe it was Keelan Marion. I can't remember who, but I'm not gonna lie. It's very hard talking about Carson Beck right now because of that damn pick. But he had a good year this year. Say what you want about him. He had a great year this year. 3,813 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, a 72% completion rate. He was everything the Hurricanes needed. He had that amazing game-winning touchdown drive against Ole Miss that I was almost sure that he was going to replicate against Indiana. It was difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult, knowing how poised he was against Ole Miss and how poised he was all season long. And yes, he did throw those interceptions. He did. He had 12 on the year, and 3 of them are going to live in my head rent-free. But for the most part, he did exactly what we all thought he was going to do. Took care of the ball, managed the game, and he made some good throws down the stretch of some of these games, man. He had some phenomenal games, bro. And there was a point where he was being considered for the Heisman. Like, there was a point this year where it was a real possibility. But I mean, it happens. It happens. Carson Beck, he's going to be a Cane for life no matter what. Grateful for this season that he had. It ended up sour, but hey, man. He led us down a path that we didn't think we'd be in so soon. So, shout out to Carson Beck. He's number 5. That was a long number 5. I promise these next 4 are going to probably be a bit quicker. Number 4. This might be a hot take. No, it won't. I don't think it will. Akeem Mesidor led the team in sacks this year, 12 and a half. And he, the partner in crime of Ruben Bain, who I will talk about in just a second. Akeem Mesidor was the finisher, and he finished every single play at such a high rate. Like I said, led the team in sacks to 12 and a half. And he was just... It's incredible talking about Akeem Mesidor because so much of the attention went to Ruben Bain. But Akeem Mesidor has to be the most underrated player on this team. He was so good for us. And every bit of credit that Ruben Bain has gotten this year, the same energy needs to be met with Akeem Mesidor. He was awesome this year, man. And he's going to be going first round in the draft, hopefully. If not, he's going to be, at the very least, a day 2 pick. But he was awesome. He was electrifying. And, I mean, multi-sack games in the national championship can't get much better than that, man. Really can't. Can't get much better than that. Akeem Mesidor is number 4, and I'm going to miss him a lot. Number 3, Mark Fletcher. 1,192 rushing yards in this season. 5.5 yards a carry, 12 touchdowns. In the national championship, 112 yards and 2 touchdowns, average 6.5 yards per carry. Guys, let's call it what it is. Mark Fletcher, I mean, up until this year, up until the playoff, there was really no Like the run game was good, but it wasn't like formidable like we all thought it would be coming into the year. And then the playoff happened, and Mark Fletcher was just a battering ram in the line of scrimmage. Had some great speed. And he straight up carried us in some of these games. Like, the reason we were in that national championship game in general was because of Mark Fletcher and that touchdown. The reason we won the Texas A&M game was because of Mark Fletcher. Mark Fletcher, I can't believe he's not going to the league. I can't believe he's coming back. Thank God for NIL, because I don't think he'd come back at all because of how high his stock was. And let me just say this regarding Mark Fletcher. I understand he's getting a little bit of backlash because of what transpired between him and Tyreek Tucker after the game. Let me say this about Mark Fletcher. Mark Fletcher, I promise you, wouldn't have done that if something terrible wasn't said. Straight up. I refuse to believe that Mark Fletcher just swung on a dude. At all. He is a high character individual from what I've seen. He has never went out of his way to try to sock somebody in the head, which he probably would have knocked him out, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Mark Fletcher, there's no way he would have done that without something provoking it. So I understand a lot of people are going to be like, hey, what happened here? I look, something had to have been said, because I refuse to believe Mark Fletcher just did that out of like whatever. I refuse to believe that. Refuse. Mark Fletcher's number 3. May shout out to Big Mark, his father. He's watching from heaven. Shout out to Mama Fletcher. She represented the Canes just as well. Mark Fletcher, you made us proud, and I'm glad you're coming back. Number 2, Ruben Bain. I understand Ruben Bain, statistically, 9.5 sacks, did not lead the team. Let me tell you something about Ruben Bain. I kid you not, every single pass rush snap he was beating the guy. I just didn't see him lose. And if he did lose, if he did lose a pass rush snap, it was a fluke. This guy was unblockable. He just was, man. He just was. He had an interception in this game, in the game against Notre Dame, which was pretty damn iconic, if you ask me. He was electrifying in this season. And the amount, he led the country in pressures. Like I said, 9.5 sacks. All the sacks that Akeem Mesidor had, not all of them, but some of them are because of what Ruben Bain was doing. Okay, let's make that very clear. Ruben Bain Jr., a true Cane. He wanted to come here. He came here at a time where the program was in a rough spot. He committed when the team was 5-7. And straight up, Mario Cristobal challenged him. And he came in and he helped bring the U back to what they once were. He did. And I'm incredibly proud of this kid. I'm glad he's going to be a top 10 pick in the league. I mean, an electrifying pass rusher. In my opinion, his number, along with Mark Fletcher's, in my opinion, should not be worn again. I don't want anybody wearing number 4. I really don't. Both number 4s, Fletcher and Bain. I just won't allow it. I won't allow it, man. I won't allow anybody. Oh, man, Ruben Bain. I'm going to miss him. He's number 2, and number 1. Well, before I do number 1, I think some honorable mentions would be very, very fitting here. There was a lot of elite players that are outside of my top 5 Canes. But I want to do an honorable mention. I'm not going to talk too much about him. Keontae Scott, first of all. Third on the team with sacks, 5 sacks in the game, 5 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. He had that pick six on that Ohio State game, electrifying. He was awesome. Ahmad Moten Sr. I said Akeem Esdor was our most underrated player. Ahmad Moten was electrifying. He really was. And I'm glad he's coming back next year, hopefully. He was awesome. 4.5 sacks in this game. He was great. He was amazing. Ahmad Moten, man. The reason why the run defense was as good as it was this year, obviously Ruben Bain and Mesidor had a lot to do with it, but in the interior, Ahmad Moten Sr. was electrifying, man. He was awesome. He was. Another honorable mention, Jacoby Thomas, the hard-hitting safety. 5 interceptions, led the team, 6 pass deflections, a touchdown off a pick six. He forced 2 fumbles. He had 2 fumble recoveries. An electrifying player. And it's a shame his Kane career is coming to the end, and I hope he gets drafted. I really do. Mohamed Toure, Wesley Bassett, the linebacker duo, hard-hitting, helped with the run game just as strongly as Ahmad Moten did. Those two, Canes for life. And then I do want to shout out Bryce Fitzgerald. He was awesome again as well. Man, Bryce Fitzgerald, bro. 6 interceptions actually led the team, so forgive me. 6 interceptions led the team, the true freshman. He's going to fit in beautifully after Keontae Scott and Jacoby Thomas and whoever we bring in. The corners, O.J. Frederick, Xavier Lucas, those guys played their hearts out. Shout out to the running back, Shamar Brown, Keelan Marion as well. I could name this entire team, honestly, as a as an honorable mention. C.J. Daniels, that one-handed catch is going to live forever against Notre Dame. And then how could I forget CeCe Maui Noah, the offensive lineman? Electrifying. What a great player. I can't believe I almost forgot to mention him. This offensive line, all of them are honorable mentions here. Francis Maui Noah, Markel Bell, Brockermeyer. I mean, Inez Cooper. Oh, man. Like, just a bunch of studs on this team, man. I just named the entire team as my honorable mention. I hope you guys don't blame me for that. Shamar Brown as well was he didn't have the most electrifying season, but he had that performance against Florida that was really good. So, all right, number 1. I'm sorry, I've been talking too long about my top 5 Canes. Said the entire team as my honorable mention. Malachi Tony. Where do I begin with Malachi Tony, man? He's my number 1. $109 receptions, 1,211 yards, 10 touchdowns, led the team in receiving touchdowns. I really don't know what to say about this kid that hasn't already been said. A true freshman who should be a senior in high school right now, committed to the Canes as a 3-star. And a lot of people were wondering, who is this kid and why was he moving up so quickly? Why is he reclassifying? And in 1 year, he became my favorite Miami wide receiver Hurricane. In 1 year, he's my favorite wide receiver Cane. He is. As a true freshman. There are so many iconic plays to run down here. From his first touchdown against Notre Dame, his touchdown against Ole Miss, his touchdown against Texas A&M, even his touchdown against Indiana. He was our best receiver. He didn't drop a single pass And there was a time where he was the entire offense this year. He was the offense. And honestly, I'm so thankful that Malachi Tony reclassified because it brought us a season like this. He brought us here. Make no mistake about it, he brought us here. And let me tell you guys something. As well. In this game, Malachi Tony, against a really damn good secondary. 10 catches, 122 yards, and a touchdown. Say what you want. Indiana played so well in this game. They could not stop him in that second half. And it's why I was so upset after that pick. Because if you're going to target anybody, if you're going to die on any hill, it's going to be Malachi Tony's hill. It's a shame that the season ended the way it did because I felt Malachi Tony, the way he played this year, seeing him cry on the sideline, just heartbreaking, man. Just heartbreaking. I mean, he's a Cane legend already. He is a Miami Hurricane legend. He is. And he's probably going to, I'm going to predict this right now. He is going to beat the record for most receiving yards and most receptions. I'm calling it right now. He's going to break the record for the Canes. 109 catches, 1,200 yards in his first year. Give me a break. He's going to break this record. I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. He's the best player, not just on the Canes, but in my opinion, he's a top 5 player in the entire country. He's not a better wide receiver than Jeremiah Smith, although I believe he's up there. He has to be. I think he's a top 2 wide receiver in the country. Malachi Tony, man. What else is there to say? Those are my top 5 Canes. I'll repeat them. My top 5 Canes this year. Number 5, Carson Beck. Number 4, Akeem Ezador. Number 3, Mark Fletcher. Number 2, Ruben Bain. And number 1, Malachi Tony. Those are my top 5 Canes this year. The Dolphins hire Jeff Hafley. Wow. I didn't think this hire would just happen out of nowhere, but it did. And you got the feeling that this hire was coming eventually, given John Eric Sullivan's ties with Jeff Hafley. Jeff Hafley was obviously the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. John Eric Sullivan coming from Green Bay's organization to take over as the general manager for the Miami Dolphins. Probably wanted some familiarity in his head coaching hire. And he's very familiar with Jeff Hafley. And he's our new head coach. So it's an interesting hire. A lot of people didn't like it because a lot of people are going to just complain about the hiring of any head coach that wasn't a known head coach. They would have complained about Saleh. They would have complained about Clint Kubiak. They might have even complained about Chris Shula. Okay, they would have complained about everything. All right, let's be very blunt here. Jeff Hafley obviously was the defensive coordinator. He was obviously the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. But prior to going to Green Bay, I believe he does have, and I'm looking this up right now on the fly. I was so unbelievably depressed I just spent 30 minutes talking about the Canes. I still have to talk about this head coaching hire. I had no notes, I'm not going to lie. I'm usually a lot more prepared, but that loss yesterday crushed my soul. Anyway, I'm sorry. Jeff Hafley, the new head coach for the Green Bay Packers. This is not his first time being a head coach. It's not. His first time being a head coach is actually it was as Boston College's head coach back in 2020 and 2023. Now, How'd he do in those years? Let's find out, shall we? Jeff Hafley at Boston College. You guys are going to do the research with me because I was not prepared. And I'm typically a lot more prepared than this. But guess what? What are you guys going to do? Okay? What are you guys going to do? Please, give me a break. Oh, my goodness, man. Oh, my goodness. Jeff Hafley coached 3 years at Boston College. And in his 3 years at Boston College, he went 6-5, 6-6, 3-9, and 7-6, and they won their first bowl game, the Fenway Bowl, and they beat, I believe they beat SMU, who was ranked 17th at the time. So, shout out to Jeff Hafley, Boston College. His last year, he won a bowl game. They let him go. They brought in Bill O'Brien, and if you haven't paid attention, Bill O'Brien hasn't exactly had the most successful season over there. This guy, Jeff Hafley, is interesting because he is it's an interesting hire. It really is. It's an interesting hire, but I'm allowing it. I really am. I'm gonna say we're not going to judge that quickly. I'm not going to. I'm just not. I am iffy about this hire only because it feels like it's more of a hire based on familiarity rather than a hire than of the best possible outcome. Now, granted, it's like I said, and nobody's going to be happy with regardless of whatever hire we did, okay? Everybody's going to be like, who is this? Everybody was going to be like, oh, I mean, he just hired his buddy. Regardless, unfortunately, we're going to just have to hope that this guy is going to bring us some level of success. I don't know if it's going to happen year 1 or even year 2, but we have to give him time. We have to give him time. We have to. We do. I'm interested to see in the press conference what he has to say. I'm not going to judge anything right now. A lot of people saw Sean McDermott get fired and thought to themselves, oh, well, why didn't we go after him? Sean McDermott's a good head coach. And they said the same thing about John Harbaugh. They said the same thing. They want an experienced head coach. They want a head coach they already know. Guys. Every good head coach right now in the league, every elite head coach was a first-time head coach. They were. Look at the teams right now in the NFC Championship game. Mike Macdonald, he's in his second year as a head coach. They're in the NFC Championship game. Sean McVay was a first-year head coach. He was a first-year head coach. Guess what? He has a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford. Sean McVay is one of the best coaches ever now. So regardless of what you want to say about, wanting a coach with experience, it doesn't always work that way. Okay? The Raiders got Pete Carroll and thought they were going to be a competitive team this year. One season, he's gone. So before we start throwing tomatoes at this hire, can we just take a second to give him a shot? Let's listen to this guy talk. Let's see how he manages games. Let's see how he manages personalities. Let's see if he's a leader of men. Because Mike McDaniel, for all his offensive genius, unfortunately, he wasn't a leader of men. So it was hard to take him seriously. And regardless of what the players want to say about Mike McDaniel, they were in that locker room and they have every right to feel however they want to feel about Mike McDaniel. The bottom line is this. He was not a real leader of men. He just wasn't. He just wasn't. He was too much of a laid-back coach. A chill, guys, everything's going to be all right. Don't worry. Come on. Kind of coach. And I don't want that in my head coach. I just don't. I want that in my offensive coordinator. I would love that on my staff. But as the leader of a football team, I don't know. And whoever picks him up, I hope he performs well. I really do. Mike McDaniel brought success to the Dolphins. Success that the Dolphins really haven't seen in a long time. Fine. But, however, can you say he was a leader of men? I don't think you can. And I think the Dolphins need that. They need a culture reset. This might work for Las Vegas. Mike McDaniel might work for Las Vegas. He might work for them. He might work for Cleveland. But he can't. For what Miami needs, he wasn't going to work. Anyway, Jeff Hafley, I am going to wait and see. I'm excited to see his introduction. I don't know when it's going to happen, but we'll see, man. We will see. So, I'm excited for the hire. I'm not going to be mad at the hire. Yet, I think with the benefit of hindsight, I will walk back here and I'm going to say that we'll see. I'll just say we'll see. I guess we could talk about the Miami Heat for a second before we wrap this thing up. All right, let's just go ahead and talk about it. Spo's comments about Khalil Ware. We'll talk about that right now, actually. Spo's comments about Khalil Ware were so unbelievably unwarranted. And considering the drama we went through last year, I cannot believe he would make comments like that. A comment like that. I can't believe it. I legitimately can't believe it. Given how the season went last year, why would you make a comment like that? Just why? Why would you do that? That blows my mind that you would make a comment like that. It does. But anyway, Khalil Ware, still really in the doghouse. He had 18 minutes against Golden State last night. 15 points in those said 18 minutes. But he's still not getting that. He's still not really getting a lot of play time. Jovic played 4 minutes in this game. That's insane. Kasparas Yakushonis had more minutes. With 14. Drew Smith had more minutes. So the young players on our team are just not getting a lot of minutes. The young players that one has this narrative of, is he even good? And the other has this narrative, play him because he is good. They're not getting a lot of minutes. They're just not. Bam Adebayo in this game had 4 points. Do I need to say more? He was having he had a great performance last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And then to follow up with a 4-point performance. Oh my gosh, bro. This kind of stuff, bro. 4 points, Bam. You're the best player on our team and you're scoring 4 points. You put up a January tour date. January 1st. January 13th was the tour date you put up today. Be better. It's as simple as that. Just be better. Norman Powell had 21. Andrew Wiggins had 18. Tyler Hill didn't play. let's talk about Tyler Hero for a second. I want to talk about him for just 1 second, bro. Just a second, bro. Just a second. Why the heck in a contract year does this have to happen to him, man? It's so unlucky. Like, he just can't catch a break. He just can't. And now it's like, are we going to pay the guy? Are we going to pay him now? Are we going to pay him? If we pay him after what has transpired this year, I don't know if I could take this organization seriously moving forward. I just don't. Because he has not been able to do anything this year because of how hurt he's been. And really, ever since he came back and was healthy, we went off to that hot start. Everybody remember, we were like 14-5. Hot start to the year. Then Tyler Hero came back, and everybody was excited. Everybody was excited, but guess what? He came back, and then the mood changed. He came back, and things changed. Right when he came back, the offense started to struggle, and the team itself was struggling. We were struggling. Genuinely struggling, and now I'm just thinking to myself, like, if we do trade him, what are we getting for him? Because teams aren't stupid. They see what we're seeing. They see an injury-prone volume scorer who doesn't play a lot of defense. Heat fans see it. I'm sure other teams see it as well. So really, what is his value? We don't know because, yeah, last year he was an all-star, but this year, what have you done for me lately? Well, you haven't really done much because you've been hurt. You've played 11 games. So it's it is insanely difficult to navigate where the direction of this team can really go if Tyler Hero is constantly hurt. It's difficult. Like, we are trying to, like, first of all, the team doesn't even know regardless of Hero, but with Hero being hurt, now it's just like, now it's just confusing what we have to do. And especially with Norman Powell in the last year of his contract playing like an all-star and being healthy in spite of his, banged up groin and much other injuries. Like, he's not going to be the Miami Heat the Miami Heat moving forward are going to be on this road trip. Moving forward. They're going to be on this road trip moving forward. We're going to be playing the Kings. We're playing the Kings, Portland, Utah, and Phoenix. Next couple of games. And he's not going to be a part of any of them. He's not. So now my question is, what exactly can we do? Like, what are we going to do now? Exactly. What can we do? And the answer is, I do not know. Pat Riley should have this answer, not me. Straight up. It's hard. It is incredibly hard navigating this situation when your best player, supposed best player, the captain of this team, Bam Adebayo, is inconsistent. When your best player this year is a 32-year-old on an expiring contract. And you're not playing your young players as much. So it's difficult right now to understand what kind of team we are. Are we just going to be a playing team again? That cannot be the goal. That cannot be the goal. It just can't. It just can't be the goal. Just checking out the standings right here. We're currently sitting in the play-in. And we're going to probably be a lock for the play-in because I don't see us being as bad as the Milwaukee Bucks, who are 18-24, or the Charlotte Hornets. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But the fact that I'm seeing teams like Toronto, I'm seeing teams like Philly, like Orlando, they've been battling. I mean, Toronto's a young team, obviously. Philly, they've got their players, but not a lot of people really believed in them, mainly because, well, I mean, they're a hospital. They're typically a hospital. This year it's been a lot better, but Tyrese Maxey has been electric this year, so they're getting a good season out of him. The Orlando Magic are 4 games above. We could get back into the playoff. We could be a top 6 seed. We can. We're capable of it. We are right now only 2.5 games behind. A game and a half, actually. We're a game and a half behind the 6th seed. With a matchup against Orlando Magic incoming very soon. So this road trip, these next 4 games against these teams that are supposedly inferior to us, we have to take care of business. We have to take care of business. We have to take care of Sacramento. We have to. Portland has the same record as us, so I mean they're at the same level as us, and they're, I mean, the fact that they are like that, it just makes me. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. It's just. My point is this, man. We have to make the playoff. The goal this year from January on should be to get into the top 6 seed. We need to. It needs to happen. We can't be a playing team again. We just can't. We can't. If we're a playing team again this year, where are we going? Really, where are we going? We have to be a top 6 seed this year. It's still possible. I'm holding on to hope. We have a game tonight against the Kings that can get us back on track. We got to bounce back from that horrible loss that really started this entire fall back at home. But you know what? I believe in this team. I'm gonna hold on to hope. I'm gonna hold on to the fact that we are too good this year. This year we are too good to be a playing team. We can't be this bad. So we'll see. We will see. A bit of a disorganized podcast today. But I mean, last night was just so sad. One of the most heartbreaking losses, I think, in my lifetime. I'm thinking 2022, that Jimmy Butler jump shot that just didn't go in. I'm thinking in 2023 losing to Denver. It's heartbreaking. But hey, man, Canes are back. We're going to be back next year. Dolphins hire a new head coach, and the Heat make the plan, man. Make the plan. Football is gone. We are locked into this Miami Heat season moving forward. We will be keeping up to date as well with Miami Dolphins and who they might hire in this cycle for their defensive coordinator, for their offensive coordinator. We'll be keeping up with that. We will also be keeping up with the Miami Hurricanes and recruiting. There's a rumor that Darian Mensah from Duke might be transferring over here. We'll see. We will hold on to that, but news doesn't stop, man. We got Florida Panther hockey that we could talk about. Shoot, we could talk about anything right here. Everything South Florida. You can get it right here. But regardless of that, damn, I love Miami. Hopefully the Canes will be back, and hopefully the Heat lock back in and make the playoffs. Holding on to hope, baby. Holding on to hope. Woo-wee. Rough night last night. Shout out to Fernando Mendoza, Christopher Columbus High School alum. You're making us proud, mi gente latino. Make us proud in the league, brother. This has been Sammy HT. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time. Dale.